We've all heard the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but pictures and videos also provide protection and expand accountability. That's the motivation behind a bill heard Friday in Carson City that expands the use of cameras in the rooms of those who depend on others for care.
Everybody that sees the pictures, they're mortified. They're mortified.
In 2020, Teresa Begay reached out to me for help after her brother, Henry Owens, was neglected and abused at the Life Care nursing home on Harmon and Eastern, where he went after suffering a stroke. Photos and videos Teresa shared with me showed open wounds, sores, and Henry sitting in his own feces for hours, sometimes days at a time. At one point, the injuries were so severe that Henry had to have a toe amputated. Henry passed away at age 61 in 2021, but Teresa fought for change at the state level in his honor. As a result of her fight and our investigation, Henry's law was passed in 2023, allowing patients and their families to install cameras in their rooms at nursing homes.
It will not bring my brother Henry back, but it will protect and maybe even save the lives of other individuals.
Henry's law was a start, but it's limited and the law has no teeth for enforcement. A new bill heard Friday by the Assembly Health and Human Services Committee seeks to end current limits and create penalties for failing to follow the law. If passed, Assembly Bill 368 would expand the scope of Henry's law so cameras can be installed in residents' rooms at any type of assisted or supported living facility, including those that offer support for people with disabilities, intermediate care, skilled nursing homes, individual and group residential care, hospital long-term care units, assisted living services in a senior living community, and secure units in a medical facility for patients with dementia.
My mom's a survivor of many things. Now it's only the lines on her face that can tell her story of her life and the past 6 years.
In testimony Friday, Peggy Stevenson told lawmakers her mother, Inga, suffering from dementia, was abused and neglected in a care facility, which she only discovered because of cameras they'd installed in her mother's room.
Mom would be dragged by forearms quickly across her room at the employee's pace, not being respectful of her 92-year-old pace. That's where the bruising and the tears on her forearms came from. In the shower, she was ushered onto a cold fiberglass seat, and then the water was turned on. We all know it's cold to start out, and that's why Mom screamed and fought. 2 weeks after that, she was abandoned in a common area where she was living, and the caregivers, the two assigned caregivers, weren't able to be found, were accounted for. She fell and wound up breaking her hip.
Peggy also testified that her mother's wedding ring was stolen while she was getting in the shower. She told lawmakers she was retaliated against after reporting that to the facility manager.
I had to remove cameras. They created a new policy, no cameras. It was a violation of a dressing room law. And they said Mom needed total lockdown, and it was $2,600 more a month.
Under the proposed bill, state health agencies would be allowed to deny new license applications or suspend or revoke existing licenses for facilities that fail to comply with the camera law. It also adds civil and criminal penalties for any person or facility violating the law.
Live stream video gives a family 24/7 comfort that their vulnerable elderly loved one is safe and comfortable.
Peggy's husband, Michael, a retired military colonel, elaborated on the need for better supervision and accountability.
I know there are plenty of outstanding caregivers out there, but I'm going to focus on the dark side of caregivers. Caregivers' qualifications, there's minimal education, minimal training, and by the way, they're minimum wage. And they show up on a ward, and all of a sudden they're the king and queen of that ward because they determine when a patient eats, when they get their underwear changed, when they're allowed to go to the bathroom.
Lawmakers also heard from 29-year-old Andre Collins, who has cerebral palsy, and his mother, Jody.
So he just typed in, I love living on my own. I like cameras in my apartment.
But when Andre wanted to have cameras installed in his apartment,
I was told that we could not have the cameras because he had 24-hour caregivers and it was a privacy violation.
both families told lawmakers cameras are just common sense to make sure their loved ones are seen, safe, and properly cared for.
We can watch our dogs live stream all day in doggy daycare with the comfort knowing that they're okay. We can watch our children in school all day knowing that they're okay and have some comfort in that. But why can't we watch our loved ones who depend on us? We have to live with the guilt of subjecting them to these places.
Assemblyman Max Carter of Clark County is sponsoring the bill. He plans on making some amendments after one of the committee members said she wants to ensure timely investigations when cameras reveal abuse and neglect, and also to publicize violations so anyone researching a facility has access to that information. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.